Today I have a very exciting video. In my opinion, if you love color, you will love this video. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Riet. I'm a watercolor and mixed media artist based in Austria, and on my channel, I share my artsy adventures. I know a lot of art channels are sharing their yearly favorites right now, and I have to tell you, I find those videos so much more enjoyable and so much more helpful than hauls, and I think you would agree, because it actually shows me what the artist used as opposed to what they bought. I really love making these videos. I try to occasionally also make monthly favorites. It doesn't always work out. The yearly favorites are another opportunity for me to share my absolute favorites, the things that I actually used. But because I love color, I like to also highlight my favorite colors. So in this video, that's what I'm going to do. And you can pretty much assume that if I'm showing you a favorite color of a certain art supply, that usually means that I love that art supply in general. I love the formulation of it. But, you know, many times you just want a few colors. Maybe you want to add a few colors. Maybe you're looking for something specific. I find it a lot less overwhelming if I share my absolute favorite as opposed to buy a full set of this and a full set of that and a full set of this, because that can get pretty pricey. If you enjoyed this video, please go right now and give it a thumbs up or leave me a comment. It really, really helps show it to new people, and I would really appreciate it. So do it now, please. Thank you. And also let me know in the comments, what are your favorite colors? I love to get your opinions, and that also helps viewers because I'm just one person. Okay, let's get coloring. Let's talk a little bit about watercolors now. I've shared what's in this palette many times over the years because it keeps changing. But I want to mention a few highlights of this year. I really feel that this year was the year of gold ochre. Yellow ochre is a super classic earth tone, and I love it. It's probably like the only earth tone that I use regularly. But gold ochre, a lot of brands have that as well, and it tends to be just a little bit more golden, but still very earthy. So this one is by Da Vinci, and I really, really love it. Let me show you how it looks next to other colors you might be familiar with. So this is next to quinacridone gold. You can see how the quinacridone gold is much more intense and transparent, and this one just it's a little bit more delicate and earthy. And let me also show you how it looks next to my longtime all-star, which is the Lucas Naples yellow red or reddish, and you can see that they're quite similar, but I feel like gold ochre has just a little bit more depth and intensity, and I suspect it might in the future replace the Naples yellow red for me. I don't know, we'll see. Such a great color. So I think other brands make it also, but I have the Da Vinci one and it is beautiful. Let me show you how it mixes with pink, my favorite pink, which is Opus, also from Da Vinci. Look at this gorgeous corally color, so pretty. Just makes great mixtures, and let me show you how it mixes with something like ultramarine. So it's just like a great yellow to have. Really, really love this color, and I don't know that enough people are talking about it. So gold ochre. I really didn't make a ton of changes in my palette this year, with the exception of using more and more gouache, but kind of a new color that I really love, although it does need some working to get it to be intense enough, is this new Holbein Parrot Pink, something like this it's called. It's just really, really fun. It is in this area that I personally love, and I have this in a lot of my paintings, this area between kind of peach and pink, somewhere between red, orange, and pink. And this just hits that mark. It is bright, but it also like granulates, which not a lot of these colors do. So I don't know if you can see it, but there is like some separation here and granulation. You can see like these notes of orange and the pinkiness. So super pretty color. So I got the full set at the time of Holbein with all of their new granulating colors, but I really don't think you need to buy the whole set. I think not all the colors are that exciting, at least to me, but there are some that I feel are kind of unique. And so this is the Burke's Parrot Pink. This is the one I was talking about, so gorgeous. And then my other favorites are the Cherry Blossom, but this one is like very delicate. I don't know that I would spend money on like a large tube. I mean, I'm happy it was in the set, but there it is. I'm like swatching it here. But this one, the Twilight Purple, this is so pretty. It looks kind of like not a lot in the pan, but on paper, it's just, you can see, it's so pretty. And then another color that I really love because I love these kind of emerald green colors. I used to use all the time the Sennelier Emerald Green, which is just like very unique, kind of like a minty emerald green. And I kind of stopped using it and I switched more to Cobalt Teal, kind of more in that area. But then this one, the Wonder Forest Green from Holbein, I don't know, I really love it. This one, the separation and granulation is not like super intense, as with some of the other colors, but I just find it to be really, really pretty. And then this one is actually also really pretty, the Flamingo Orange. I should maybe put some in my palette. Another color, I was talking a lot about this during the year, is the Aquarius Violet. Just want to show you how it looks. I love this color. I've been using Daniel Smith Moonglow and then I switched to Da Vinci Artemist because they come in these like huge, very economical tubes and I go through a lot of this color. But then I discovered this color by Aquarius, which sadly right now only comes in pans. So I really prefer tubes just for versatility. But I love this color. It's so beautiful. And I want to show you how it looks next to Artemis, which is very similar to Moonglow. So you can see the difference. It's not like a huge difference, but I just feel that the Aquarius Violet is just like a little bit more lively than the Artemis, which is slightly more muted. It granulates beautifully, it separates beautifully. And I feel like the magic of these colors is revealed more when you drop something like this into them. I mean, that is just watercolor magic, right? I also like dropping quinacridone gold. That was Nickel Azo Yellow from Daniel Smith. You can see how it pushes the colors. And I also like quinacridone gold, but the reason I sometimes prefer the Nickel Azo Yellow is because when you add it to Artemis, for example, also creates greens. I think it's because of the ultramarine pigment that is in Artemis, and that doesn't happen when I add the gold. But when I add the Nickel Azo Yellow, it also creates some greens. So I really love this combo for landscapes. The best is to leave these colors alone to do their thing. Another color that I kind of rediscovered this year is Undersea Green from Daniel Smith. It is such a beautiful green. A lot of artists prefer to mix their own greens, and I also mix my own greens, but I like to have a few to kind of start with. And Undersea Green, it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's perfect. It's kind of mid-tone, not too light, not too bright, not too dark, not too muted. And it's perfect as it is. And then you can add, you know, whatever turquoise, whatever yellow, whatever earth tone, whatever blue to tweak it. So I really, really love that. My other greens that I use all the time, and you can see how together with undersea green, they create, I think, a really lovely variety, is olive green from Daniel Smith. I love, love, love this color. Then we have undersea green. And then we have cascade green, which I also love the gouache version of it. So all of these are Daniel Smith. And I love also using Zoazite Genuine, which is just very muted and dark and lovely. So this is my green team. And I feel like between them and all the other colors that I have, I can make whatever greens and blues that I like. This is actually Cascade Green. I love using it for water because it is so turquoisey, and it also gets like really intense. You can play with the intensity. It's a very intensive color that it's very easy to build intensity with it, and I really like it for it. And then for the other colors, I will look for my most recent video because I really haven't changed a lot in this palette this year. I don't want to repeat all of it in this video. Let's talk about pencils. I want to recommend the Mungyo Gallery oil pastels. Now, sadly, these do not come open stock. They are so lovely. I got a year ago the 48 set, that's how it looks, from Amazon, and it was about $20. I love the colors here. I have never used oil pastels as much as I have since I got these. There's something about the formula that you get, I feel like, all the benefits of oil pastels, but with less of a mess. And the price tag is not as high as my other favorite. I love this color so much. I need to see if I can like dupe it. But this one, at least you can buy open stock. The Neo Pastel from Caran d'Ache, they have a beautiful formula. Actually, I don't know, they might. The Mungyo are creamier, but you know, if it's not like super, super soft, it means it's less messy. And these are definitely less messy than the Sennelier ones, which are, I would say, the top of the softness level. Anyway, this color is light purple violet. I love it. It's just like the perfect light purple violet. That's the color. I know it's a bit hard to see on pink, but you can see I have a situation here. Let's see if I can dupe it with something. This is a little bit lighter. So these you can't buy open stock, but they have such glorious colors, both sets. So this one, obviously, you have only 48. If I could go back in time, well, if I could go back in time, honestly, I would buy the 120 set. But if I was a little bit more on a budget, I would buy the 72 set. I think it costs around $40 on Amazon. This set is great and I used it a lot. The only thing I felt was missing here to make it like perfect were a few lighter colors. I think if the set had a few more lighter colors besides, you know, just like the cream and the white, it would be a really great kind of go-to set. Anyway, I love these so much, so I upgraded recently to the 120 and I swatched all the colors and I just love them. I think it's such a great set, such a great product if you want to play with oil pastels. I feel it's a very direct way of getting like that creaminess. And with oil pastels, yes, you can mix them, but I think a lot of people just like to work with them without mixing the colors, and so having a larger range helps to do that. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not like a specific recommendation, but whether you get the 48, the 72, or the 120 set, the colors here are really, really lovely. Let me try and show you without the colors that I removed. So you can see there are like so many options here, tons of purples and lots of light colors. And also, you know, not just, you have light colors that are more muted and light colors that are more saturated, and the same with the midtones and the darks. If you love color and you want to try oil pastels, I think you will love these. I've heard also from a few viewers and people in the Joy Art Club that got these and they love them as much as I do. I love, love, love pencils. They have been one of these supplies that I really fell in love with in the last couple of years. There's something about drawing versus painting that I keep falling in love with each one of them again and again. And just like having the right pencils makes everything so much easier. So let me show you some of my favorites. Now this is such a winner. This is from, I really need to buy a new one. This is one of the Luminance pencils, which I really fell in love with them and I added a few more. There's something about the way you can like layer them and kind of intensify again the application that I love. And this took over my previous pencil crush, which I still love. So I love them both, but I probably used this one more this year. This was my previous go-to dark, which is ivory black. I still love it. You can see it's just like a very intense black. Love it so much. The Derwent drawing pencils are some of my favorite formulation, alongside the Luminance, Prismacolor, and Holbein. Those are like my top 4 pencils. I could probably do with those 4 brands and I wouldn't need anything else. I think also between them the color range is, I don't think I would need anything else. So these are like my favorite darks. There are a few colors that I just love. This one is Ice Green from Holbein, and I have this color in oils, in acrylic paint, I think, whatever Holbein has in oil pastels. I just love it. It's like this, you can see like this soft, beautiful aqua minty color. So, so pretty. My favorite pencil of all time, and it's also the prettiest, is the Blackwing pencil. I think you have to try it to understand. I don't know how they do this, but the leads of these pencils, they are just like next level enjoyable. I don't know. Tell me in the comments if you've tried these and if you agree that, like for me, I find it very hard to use now a different pencil after I've tried these. Now, another thing that I really enjoyed this year are some neutral pencils. I love to add some scribbles and texture with these towards the end of my watercolor paintings. And Prismacolor has these. I'm sure other brands have something similar. I just have these and they're perfect, which is their line of French gray. So these are kind of like taupey, warm grays. I'll show them to you. This is the 30%. It's such a pretty color. I also love wearing this color just because I feel it's really elegant, but it's not completely gray, which there's nothing wrong with gray. I just enjoy warm colors more these days, and they also flatter like my complexion, like my natural colorings better than cool grays. So that was the 50%. This is the 70%. And this one is the 90. And I love all of them. They somehow always work with everything else. And I feel like they really help my bright colors shine. See, oh, this is such a great combo. This is the Anthraquinite pink from Caran d'Ache. So a few other favorites. This is the Naples yellow from Holbein. I also love, I have a few Naples yellows, but somehow this is my favorite from Holbein. I love it. Should get a new one. And then this one is another great color. I think it's light aqua from Prismacolor. So you can see it's just like a darker version of the Holbein Ice Green. Love it. This is another good one. This is Parrot Green. So this really reminds me of this color that I've been loving this year. So I think I shifted also towards green from my love of perfect teals. Share with you a few other colors that are so tiny, which they are that because I love them so much. So this is just ultramarine from Prisma, and it is quite purpley, which I love. Quinacridone something. The number is PC994. Such a great, like, magenta. It really reminds me of the luminous rose. This is PC995. You can see it's more violet, and that reminds me of this color. And then we have this one, PC993. I think this is called Hot Pink. It's just like, I don't know, like bubblegum Barbie pink, but maybe a little bit more purpley. And then this one is newer to me and I love it. This is Luminous Rose in pencil form, and I love that color. If you like bright pinks, I don't know that there's any other pencil that compares to this. So I think those are my favorites. There is one supply that really takes the cake, I would say, and that is the Neocolor II, especially with the colors that they added this year. I love so many of them, and I'm sorry to say I would just get all of those special edition small sets that they came out with, but I will share with you some of my favorite colors that I noticed I used a lot and I feel really added to their color range. So let me show you some of my favorites. And again, these are all the special editions. So Amazonite, such a perfect, slightly muted, you can see it's like this grayish mint, like a grayish aqua color, so good. And then one I didn't think I would use as much as I ended up using. This one is Skagen Blue. This is usually not my color at all, but I noticed that it just added a lot to my paintings, and that is always fun. This one I also really, really love it. This is Light Heliotrope. Again, it's like this slightly grayed, pinky, purpley color. It actually really reminds me of the Holbein color. This one, the Twilight, what was it called? Right? It has very similar vibes. And I love to layer these together. I love the tone-on-tone look, so it actually makes me really happy when I can kind of find these matches. And then another great one is Peach Blossom. You can see this one is just a lot pinkier. So pretty. And this one I think a lot of you would also love. This is Light Wine Lease. Wine Lease. So it's kind of like a potter's pink, very pretty. And then some of my favorites are their darks. They came out with these darks. I don't know that they're all new, but they're definitely all new to me, and I just love them. So starting from the least exciting to the two more exciting, this is the Van Dyke Brown, but I really like it. I don't know, there's something about it, I guess maybe because it's so similar to this. At least I'm consistent, right? It's like brown, but not too orangey, but not completely gray. Love it. And then these two are so good. So we have Dark Garnet. It's just like a muted purple, I would say. Love it. And then this one is probably my favorite. This is Caput Multum. So intense, and it's somewhere between, I don't know, is it purple? Is it black? Like reminds me like a cherry black color. So good. Love it. And then another one that I liked is of course, the Zinc Ochre. And alongside with the Gold Ochre, so this is the Gold Ochre, which I've really been crushing on this year. And then this is this Zinc Ochre. And also they added a couple of great greens. So I don't know exactly which one is new here, but this is the Olive Green, Aucuba Green. You can see they're like earthy and they're not like super bright, and I love that. and then this one is moss green. There are a lot more, but those were my favorites. Okay, and now honorable mention to these ones that have just joined my collection, but I just love them. Derwent added more colors to their drawing line, which I've been a fan of for years, and I keep recommending it, and we talk about it here, all the art supply junkies, that they have a limited color range, and the color range is very earthy, which a lot of people love, but I need more. So they finally came out with a ton more colors, and I'm slowly kind of collecting the ones that I love, but I wanted to share some that I thought were really, really gorgeous. This one is probably my favorite. I know it is so light, it's hard to see. Oyster, it's just like a very, 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 very soft purple. Then we have next to it, so pretty, that is soft violet. It's this one, such a pretty color. Teal blue, I don't think the name is right for this. It is very much a lavender. And then another great color is distant green. You tell me how you would call this color. It really reminds me almost of the Amazonite Caran d'Ache, slightly darker and slightly bluer, but kind of same vibes. And then all of the colors that I got, I didn't get all of the new ones, just got the ones that I thought I would like. They seem lovely. I don't want to say anything yet because this is a yearly favorite and these have just recently been added. This one is so pretty, royal blue. But I will definitely keep you updated and tell you which ones are my favorite. For sure, the Derwent drawing pencils, the formulation is, I just love it. They are creamy and soft. If that's your vibe with pencils, then you will love these. Let's talk a little bit about acrylic paints. These are some of the paints that I really enjoyed this year. And I just, sometimes it's just really nice to have convenience colors. And so I think also you get more value when I recommend these colors, because I think most of us know that, you know, colors like cyan or ultramarine blue, magenta, quinacridone rose, those kinds of colors are great staples if you want maximum versatility in your palette. But I just really love having some great go-to pre-mixed colors that are, you know, either harder to mix or just are like so great as they are. So I really want to recommend these. And another reason that I really love Amsterdam, this is by Royal Talents. They have also like an expert series, which is more expensive and, you know, hopefully contains more pigment, because that is usually the expensive ingredient in paint. But the reason that I like them is, first of all, you get a lot of different sizes of the tubes. So you get like tiny tubes, and then you get these, and there are like even bigger containers. So once you find a color you love, you can try it. You don't have to commit to anything too expensive. And then if you like the colors, you can buy like bigger containers. So I really like that. I also like it that Amsterdam has an ink, like acrylic ink line. And again, you can have like the same colors in acrylic inks and markers. So it's nice to have the same colors across a variety of different sizes and consistency. So this is more heavy body paint. And then you have also the ink. I really like that because, you know, once I pick my favorites, it's just nice to have that variety available. So let me share some of my favorite colors. This one is called Light Rose, and as you can see, I really like using it. You can see it's just a very, very light pink that leans, I would say, purple. So it's not warm, it's a bit like cooler. And it's really great to mix violets and pinks, because you already have that little bit of pink built in. I love this color as it is. I love it for mixing. Yeah, really great go-to color. And then another one that I've really enjoyed is the Venetian Rose. I think all of these are opaque because I'm really into opaque paint recently. And this is just like a very warm pink. like a pink peach, I would say. Hopefully you can see this. I also really like these specific containers because you can either squeeze the paint or, you know, you can dip your brush here. So this is a great color. I especially like it when I don't use any fluorescent colors. If I use fluorescent colors, then I feel like it looks a little bit dead. But if I don't use it, then it's just like a really lovely color. I love it with ochres and yellows, just like really leaning into that warmth, like that warm temperature. So great color, really enjoyed it this year. I think all of these I bought after I finished tubes. So I didn't start with the big containers. This is 500 mils. I upgraded to this once I went through tube and really liked it. Okay, this is such a great turquoise green. It's called turquoise green. And I think it reads a little bit bluer on screen. Cameras and computer screens always struggle with turquoises for some reason. So trust me when I tell you it's a little bit greener and it is lovely. And again, it's really nice to have also inks in these colors and markers. So this one is turquoise green. It is again opaque, just really lovely color. This is a color I don't use a lot of, but I really like adding a little bit of it to my paintings. Now this is a more recent crush. It is called Emerald Green. This is like such a Matisse color, in my opinion. I think it looks a little bit lighter on screen, I would say, than it actually is. Sometimes my camera just like brightens everything, which is good for filming, but not necessarily when I want to show you an exact shade. So yeah, it's a bit darker than what you're seeing on screen. It's just a lovely shade of green. So I really wanted to highlight these colors that I've enjoyed. And then returning star is the Lucas Indigo. I just love this shade of indigo and it's one of my go-to darks. I don't use a lot of black. I really like this one. And I have to say, this is like a color that I keep resisting, but then when I use it, I actually noticed how beautiful it works with my other favorite colors. It just looks so lovely with pinks, and it is Prussian blue. Again, from Lucas. I would say Prussian blue, probably you can also try other brands. I don't think that there's something particularly wonderful about this Prussian blue. It's just the one that I happen to have. The indigo, I definitely prefer this over others that I've tried, like other brands. But yeah, Prussian blue, it's another great dark color. I think nowadays, this is not like, Prussian blue used to be a different pigment. I think most of these modern versions they use, this one has phthalo blue and a bit black in it. Again, I don't know, maybe Lucas just knows how to formulate these. I don't feel they are dead or flat because they have black in them. This one is labeled as opaque. This one is labeled as semi-opaque or semi-transparent. And yeah, I really love them both. They're kind of my go-to darks when I use acrylics. Another holy grail color for me is the Luminous Rose from Holbein. This is their heavy body paint. Okay. I had a follower tell me that she likes this, but it stinks so much. And I actually never really noticed it. So now I'm like sniffing paint. It actually does smell. I didn't notice it. I mostly use it in my paint pot. So I don't like freshly squeeze it. I don't know, I'm not very sensitive to scents, but yeah, I can't deny it stinks. So this is the Luminous Rose. It is just such a perfect color. It is fluorescent, but with a bit more depth to it. It is considered a fugitive pigment, but I've tested these, like the Holbein pinks, for myself. I didn't notice a lot of fading, and so I feel confident using these. Make your own decisions. I love this color. I use it a lot. It is beautiful. I also want to tell you that the luminous colors in the Holbein acrylic regular range, they seem to be pretty matte. So I don't know if it has to do with the pigment or whatever, but if you love matte finish like I do, then this has that. This is not cheap, but I haven't been able to find any pink that is identical to this or better. And so this is my go-to. I do feel like sometimes I need to stay away from fluorescent colors to get the look that I want these days, but I still love it and I find myself reaching for it many times. If you are more into violets, then they also have the luminous violet one, which is beautiful as well, and I love mixing it with a lot of white. This one also, you get the most gorgeous, lively, lighter violets and pinks. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon. I have something very exciting that I have to unbox and assemble. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen that. Let's give you another hint. I talked about it in my wishlist video. The universe and also Meeden listened. So super excited about that. That is coming. Also, if you're wondering, I am wearing a sweater that I made and I absolutely love it. I think the most enjoyable thing about making sweaters for me is choosing the colors. This is the Ranunculus sweater. It is knit with 2 needles and it is a very, I would say, adventurous beginner pattern. Great thing about it is you can do this with a lot of different types of yarn, and also there are a lot of instructional videos. So this is like a very, very well-known pattern in the knitting world. I just finished mine a couple of days ago. I'm super happy with it. I did kind of like balloon sleeves and I did something new to me, which was like an I-cord binding. So I learned also something new. I really enjoyed making it. I think it's so pretty and I love this color. It's very me, this like peachy pinky color. So yeah, the Ranunculus sweater by Midori Cafe. I think that's the name of the designer. Again, very well known in the knitting world. If you know, you know. It was actually really easy to make with the instructional videos. Without the videos, it's very hard, but with the videos, it is actually really simple.